10
What do you
tips
want
that you
me?
could pass. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
you want me to
Yes,
share them?
yes,
Okay,
please.
I have what I call 10 ways to supercharge your life despite living with chronic illness. Or I'm going to add, because I also help people who are living with limitations due to an injury. So
Okay.
I also do that. So first way you can supercharge your life is to live in alignment. So do as you say and say as you do, right? And the biggest source of, I'm going to say, spiritual bankruptcy is
Okay.
is when you're not living in alignment. Okay, you're not. You're saying you want to lose weight, and then you eat the chocolate cake, and then it's those kinds of things. So
Okay.
staying in alignment with what you say you want is important. Two, be a conscious creator. So don't stand for being a victim. Don't
Okay.
allow things to just happen to you willy-nilly, floating through life, kind of aimless, right? Just whatever you run into. So commit to becoming a conscious creator, um, and be yourself, right? And be yourself is like getting to that authentic part of you and really listening to your heart, um, which will inform you of, all your choices and all of the things that you truly want in life, not things
Got
you
it.
have to do, right?
Got it.
And
Hmm.
then we have let go of the past. And
Is that number four or number three?
that is number four.
And number three was be yourself.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Yep. And let go of the past. That may be a little bit difficult to do on your own, but it's very necessary. Sometimes there's books that can guide you through it. Um, Life coaching, again, is a great source of, and my integrative life coaching style really gets to the inner child work. And it is freeing, I'm telling you. Um, Number five, let go of relationships that don't serve you. And that kind of goes on with, or goes in conjunction with being yourself, right? So if you're truly yourself and you're not saying yes to things that you don't want to do, or yes to people you don't want to be with, you know, you need to, those two kind of act together, right? So you could let go of those relationships that are calling upon you to do things you don't want to do. You truly don't want to be there. And you'll see how much calmer your life's going to be when you can root out those types of people.
Hmm.
Um, number six, discover your passion. So since your life has changed and you're not really walking in the world the same way, it's really crucial to discover and create that new big picture vision. And your vision can constantly change, but then, you have goals. You make little mini goals that get yourself towards those visions. And it's really important because it's your guidepost. It's kind of like gets you going where you want to go. If you don't have it sitting out there, you're over here, you're over there, right?
Right,
You're
right, right.
not really focused and you're not really happy because you're not doing what you want to do. Number seven, create a vision. That goes with discovering your passion. So, you construct that big picture vision, and many people, like they just are doing life, right? They're just doing it,
Hmm. Hmm.
and not really thinking about where they're headed. I like to do vision boards. That just helps keep me kind of, my hopes and dreams are top of mind, and I set it in a place where I can see it every day, right? And so it's there. I get inspired by it, and it keeps me hopeful. It keeps all of those. It's like when you say an affirmation, how powerful that can
Hmm.
be.
Okay.
Um, Number eight, increase your consciousness and move past fear-based reactions. So you can create a positive impact on yourself and others, right? So if we're always making choices out of fear, oh, I better go to that, function because everybody's going to talk about me if I don't, so that's a
Got it. Right.
fear-based decision. And the
Hmm.
more we can weed those fear-based decisions out and really get to the root of how they developed in ourselves, um, we're going to clear the pathway to live a more fulfilling and joyful life. Live in the moment is number 9. So learn how to shut off that monkey mind. I think I talked about that earlier. How, the negative chatter or the running list of things you have to do, where you have to go, and you're thinking 3 days ahead of yourself. The more you can get control of that monkey mind, and you'll be able to enjoy your present moment. And you'll feel really grounded in life. Make you feel more connected to life, others, yourself, even. Um, and number 10, watch out for unrealistic expectations like perfectionism, right?
Hmm.
Expecting things to be and wanting things to be a certain way, and if they're not that certain way, you're unglued or you're distraught or frustrated. So those are
Yeah.
points to really check in on, because again, it's another added stress on the body. And when we're going to be at our most content and joyful is when we decrease all those stresses. And it's not, deep breathing is a great, is like the biggest transformational tool that's out there. And we do practice that in my coaching. And it's not the only thing though, right? So there's all different aspects. And so I'm going to be dropping in the chat, or I don't know if in this chat or after you post it, my mindset makeover for people
Perfect.
who, if they want to, if they're kind of thinking, how could I benefit for coaching?
Right,
Is
right, right.
that will help me. It's just a free guide that'll take them through all the mindset shifts that are crucial for them to make, for them to like get out of this stuck place, right? So I'll
Now,
include that, and I'll include my, um, website and all that
mhm.
information as well. But can I say, I just wanted to clarify, like
you,
exactly.
you're the diva. You don't have to ask permission.
Okay,
Okay, so you're the diva for the day. So on my
just
platform,
do
that
it.
means
Just do it.
yes.
Just let you
You
know.
go ahead.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Okay. Well, so I'm, I help women, I help empower and uplift women who are living with a chronic illness or limitations due to an injury. And
Okay.
they both go together because, they're both disruptive, challenging, and frustrating situations,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
And my goal, well, first, my desire of working with that group is that I've experienced both, right? I had a big chunk of time where I woke up one morning and I couldn't walk. Funny
Wow.
enough, this is part of Lyme disease. I had to postpone my teaching. I had to have a foot operation, all these things. So I understand what those people go through that have had these like slip and falls, and all of a sudden they can't even walk around the block anymore, right? So, how are they supposed to find the silver lining and have a positive mindset? And I can help them through that. Um, and so, what I really do believe, for not just chronic illness people or people with injuries, but I believe that when you open your eyes to new perspectives, possibilities, and then your own personal power, you can become a conscious creator of a life that you love living in. And really, that's the bottom line. It takes opening, I think I talked about this earlier, opening your mind up
Yeah.
to those
Hmm.
possibilities. Um, and, there's hope and possibility are around the corner. You just have to turn the corner, right? You just have to decide. There's a lot of people sitting back, well, I'm going to wait this out, and for me, I wasn't going to be that patient person to wait it out and see how long I was going to stay miserable.
uh,
That was me. So I just wanted to kind of lay that out. And
I don't see you being a person that likes to wait.
Well, I'm not. I'm not. You would have seen me before if you met me early in my life. I was very energetic and I would never stop. Now I feel like I'm a turtle compared to that. But
Well,
it's
well,
all right. I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it.
but you keep track of your energy levels and how you're feeling. You listen to your body because of the Lyme disease and the chronic illness
Mm-hmm.
and other things that you felt before. But um, when it comes to others, that can be a challenge for them as they try to turn that corner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so uh, on the screen it says life took a total downfall with everything. Fatwa's talking about the feeling trapped and not being able to walk and
Mm-hmm.
like before. A number of others have other challenges, but challenges are challenges across the board.
Right. Right. Right.
And overall, the prescription, no matter how intense or deep the challenge may be, or the addiction or the abuse, none of them are being negated, but there has to be protocols, just like there is for a doctor. He sets up protocols for each patient,
Mm-hmm.
and no patient is the same. So there are protocols about facing challenges, how much attention is given to the challenge, how much attention is given to the abuser, how much is given to the illness. But really, what you've laid out in the first segment, and then now with these 10 tips, you're really talking about focusing in on what we can literally do and what we want to achieve more than what the abuser or the illness is trying to do. We set up protocols for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Am I understanding it
Yeah.
correctly?
Yeah. The things that we can control to step into and take charge of them because
And the,
the illness or whatever the challenge is going to take over you. It will run you and your beliefs system if it hasn't been looked at, and if you're coming from a fear-based belief system too,
hmm
you
hmm
know um to check in on all that and shift it is powerful. It's like walking in the world a whole new way. I mean, I
and
can't tell you that how many clients that will get in touch with me 6 months after we've
hmm
finished our sessions, and
hmm
they have
by the way, everybody, I'm not waving at her. I'm
a
actually,
fly.
yeah, I'm actually done my first show with a fly as a
He's
third
back.
party. So please forgive me. But go ahead. I'm going to be
Yes.
really mad when this is over with. But go ahead. But not at you, at the fly. But
No,
go
it's
ahead.
okay. No, but I'm so thrilled when they call me and they go, "Oh my gosh, I hit this another roadblock, and then they were able to overcome it. They had a new perspective entering their situation, whether it was a person that they had, boundary situations with, or
Right.
whether it was empowering themselves to make the choice." And
hmm
I remember this one. I can say that her gift was being a writer, right? She
Okay.
liked to write,
All right.
but she wasn't making time to write, and so
Mm-hmm.
she contacts me and she goes, "I just realized I can't say I'm a writer if I don't
hmm
write enough,
Right.
and she had this whole idea of a book, and she called me up and she's like, I entered this contest, I'm doing it, and it was a big change, right?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
there's a lot of sitting back and dreaming, but
Yeah.
it's the action that actually makes it happen, right? And
Yeah.
that's
I have to 1,000% agree with you on that because what was the number two?
mhm.
Okay. Living in alignment, extremely important. I'm going to get to back to that in a second. I'm going to go back to that one in a moment. But the number two, be a conscious creator. In other words, don't be a victim, is what you said.
Mhm.
It for me, looking at the beautiful tips that you gave us. I'm looking at number one and two. They really unlock number three.
Mm.
And once number three comes into play, then number four and number five unleash number six.
Mhm.
And then once number six, discover your passion, is in play, then it makes it easier for number seven and number 8 to breathe, and they take on a positive impact, creating a vision. They lead to being at peace at number 9 and being able to live in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But what I find really interesting, like the bacon of all the tips, is number 10. Because now, once we've been unleashed, we start to live a life of not having unrealistic expectations of either ourself or people, and we're able to live in the moment. I love the way you put them together because they're all interlocked into reaching a certain point, and that point is people will find us approachable. People will find us enjoyable to be around despite the chronic illness or the challenge.
Right.
Because we're not always throwing it in their face, or as it were, number 2, being a victim. I'm just saying this now. We didn't practice none of this. This is my first time reading it. But if I was making a mathematical equation, then 1 and 2 equals 3. I mean, I literally would go down, and this could be a mathematical equation that leads to 10. I just had to get my little soapbox moment in there. I don't know.
I like your observations.
I'm looking at it and I'm going like, okay, if I don't do 1 and 2, I can never get to 3.
Right.
If I put number 3 as 1, it just won't make sense to just be yourself. Okay, what does that mean? I need to start living in alignment. And Fadwa asked the question earlier, what does it mean to live in, or how do you, I'm looking at the screen over here, how do you live in alignment when everything is controlled by someone else? Well, then you have to take out those 4 words, controlled by someone else. That's not really true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you have to look at
I'm not saying
back to the thoughts and the attitude.
I just want to say this before you go on.
Yeah.
Fadwa, I'm not knocking what you said. And if anybody's watched my shows, we cut to the chase. What I'm saying respectfully to Fadwa is I can hear that statement, but I know this person that's writing me has been on other shows. I guarantee you that's a strong person because they're watching the show. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're looking for growth. Mm-hmm. So when it said, and I'll get back to you, please, with all due respect, Laura, I just want to say, she writes to you, how do you live in alignment when everything is controlled by someone else? Because the simplest things aren't possible to do anymore. We need to kind of unpack that, right? If that was your client, and I hate to be using her as an example, let's say I said that. How would you approach that if I'm telling you, well, everything is controlled by someone else? How would you start with me?
Well,
how could you help me?
I would look at it as, and it's going to sound harsh, and it's not meant to be harsh, but it's an excuse because you have a choice of being in the presence of that person, right? Who's controlling you, right?
Okay, I get what you're saying. Right,
yep.
Right.
So, you just have to break it down, into, if this is what you're going to accept in your life, then I don't want to get into
we don't have all the facts.
Right. I don't have all the facts. Right. So I can't really say, but it's a difficult situation, but the longer you stay in the difficult situation, the longer you'll stay the same is really all, because.
Okay, Fadwa, you and Laura got to connect then. Fadwa, you and Laura got to connect. You got to DM her, and you guys need to talk in private.
Yeah.
Because she's not the only one. I have people write me, and they say the same exact thing. That's why I pointed toward that, but not soloing her out and picking on her per se.
Yes.
But with all due respect, what I'm saying is, she says and is ringing a bell that many feel, and someone needs to be there to work with people through that. And I appreciate you being on the show today. But I'm telling you, Fadwa, my girl, you need to reach out to Laura because she's not the only one that feels that, and others can feel the same way, that they feel limited in their scope of mobility, of their mobility emotionally, of their mobility mentally, of their mobility literally physically, because they're living in a house. in which again, as her words, I gotta scroll back. I gotta scroll back up to it. Give me a second. I just don't want to misquote her. She says, "How do you live in alignment when everything, everything is controlled by someone else?" Those 6 words I get a lot. That's why I wanted you on, because
Mm-hmm.
people feel that way about their chronic illness. But
Yeah.
I have to go back to something you said in the previous segment. You talked about having, I got it right here. It says a person has to have, as it were, quiet time, as it were, or they have to sit quietly to kind of clear out things that they need to clear out. You talked about now getting maybe people that they need to move away from. That can be kind of hard for people to swallow those sometimes, right?
Well, and that's why there's the pre-work. I mean, that's like,
Down the
someone
road,
who's
down.
outside of the situation can say, right?
Right, right,
And
right.
I get that. And so, in a coaching situation, you're unpacking, like, you're looking at your beliefs, because there's a
Right.
belief attached to this situation that you're in, right?
And
And
even the
so,
state, and even the statement too. There's a belief attached to the statement that they need to maybe, as you said in the first segment, readjust. Then
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
got
And
it.
it's yes, and it's about, well, it's about empowerment, and
Okay.
gaining your power back, because that when you're not able to, when decisions are being made for you and you're not able to have any control,
Yeah.
that's lack of power. You don't have any power in the situation. So working with someone to build up your courage and your empowerment so that you can see
Right.
yourself
R-
full.
got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
That's
Got
what's
it.
going to, like, have let you sit in your situation, and with your knowledge and your truth, make
Yeah.
decisions that are right for you, not someone else. Like, I would
Right.
never, like, say,
Do this.
that's
Do,
not my end goal. I'll not be in
yeah.
that situation. It's
Right.
easier
Right.
to say. It's kind of like when someone said to me, when I'm telling them about the doctors that,
Uh-huh.
couldn't find, anything to cure me at one point. And I was like, and, my friend goes, oh, you just have to be positive and look on the bright side. And
Right.
I was
Right.
like,
Right. Right.
yeah, it's a lot
Yeah.
easier than, I
Uh,
mean, so,
yeah.
that's the empathy. I do
Well.
understand that we're in situations
Yeah.
that, no one's given us the playbook on these things, right? We weren't born and then we were handed, okay, this happens when you're in a divorce. This is what
Right.
happens when,
Yeah.
you get a chronic illness.
You get Lyme disease. This is what happens when you get fibromyalgia. This is right.
Right. Because
Right.
we come into life positive, we
Yeah.
don't want to think of all the bad things that are going to
No.
happen, and
No.
that's not on
Absolutely.
our radar,
Yeah.
so,
She,
understanding, I mean,
she's reaching out to you right now on the screen. I don't know if you noticed that.
oh, no, I wasn't seeing that.
Okay, so I'll read it to you. I'll
Oh,
read it to you. And by the way, hello, therapist Mandy is here, as well as the tree
thanks, guys.
of stars on tour, which we had a great show together. Thank you so much. I see everybody else here. I'm just going to get to Fatwell before we have to officially let you go. Just don't swipe left or right. Anyhow,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just picking on you. So did you see what it said as I
Yeah,
gave you some
yeah,
time to
yeah,
read
I
that?
did,
Okay.
I did.
So just for the, I'm just going to touch on it because for those who will see this later will not be able to actually know what it said. It says, that's just it. He made sure an illness, or in other words, she had an illness that she's dealing with now.
Mm-hmm.
I am so going to get that fly. I cannot believe there's a fly in here. First fly ever during one of my shows on almost 300 shows. That's the first one. Okay, so I had maintained. He did everything to make sure everything I got maintained, and totally it got totally destroyed. But notice what she says here. You probably already saw this, Laura, Coach. It says, "I so really need to talk to her." Basically, he did everything, is what she's clearing up in her next statement, to make sure I ended up in this condition, so he could control me and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's all yours. What would you like to say outside of the fact that one on one you guys are going to talk?
Yeah, I please get in touch with me, because it is a lot to unpack, because it all is stemming from your perspective and what you see as possible. And in your statement, I can feel that, your sense of possibilities and hope are limited,
Yes.
right? You're sitting
There
in,
you go.
wow, I feel
Right.
limited
Yeah.
and without, ability here. And,
Right.
that's where, building up that, checking in with your heart, really staying in connection, and getting, in touch with all parts of yourself, down to, I mean, I go through things about shadow beliefs and meaning making, acceptance and surrender. We have a session on forgiveness. We, reclaim your life at the
Mm.
end. So it's a whole series that takes you through every aspect of your life, a trigger part. And I think in a kind, as a response, that I can say that the inside, your insides need some love and attention,
Okay. Hmm.
and that some self-care and some support
Okay.
is definitely what you need. And in a situation like this is when I say friends can't give you that empathetic support that you need,
No,
right?
you already touched on that. I think the first segment
Yeah,
that can be
exactly.
kind of tricky because you can what the expectation is. Well, we've been knowing each other for decades. They're my friends.
Hmm.
They're going to understand or at least give the empathy that I'm looking for, and that
Well,
may not come. Or what are
well,
you
it'll
saying?
comfort you, but is it comfort that you really need right now in this time?
Ah, okay. I get.
Is it comfort, or is
I
it
get
is it some powerful questions and thought
some
processes that
quiet time.
get
Some
you,
quiet time to process what's happening inside of you,
hmm and someone
or
to
old
direct
beliefs.
you? Yeah,
Yeah. I have to. I want to make sure I get this in before we are actually 32 going on 33 minutes in that quick. Friends aren't really friends anymore is what was typed there. But I want to get to this on your page. You have a posting that you made in April 14th.
mhm.
It's one of the ones that caught my eye when I first saw your page. You've got a really great page. By the way, what is your page, Laura? What is your page?
At Laura Enzor, life coach.
Woohoo! Okay, see, that was good. That was good.
Yeah,
Uh, any way else that they can reach out to you? Any other avenues that they can reach you? You will put it in the comments after this is
yeah, I will.
uploaded.
I'll put it in the
We'll take
comments.
care of it then. I
On
cannot.
my website is
Yeah.
lauraenzor.com. Just my
Okay.
name.com, real easy. And,
Yes.
DM through Instagram as well. So,
Yes. I am smiling because I'm coming up with a diabolical plan how to get this fly when I'm done. I am so going to get him. He has no. I will not stop. I have other work to do, but I am going to interrupt it because that fly is going to go. He is coming at the wrong time. It's just like he's okay. Here we go. You have a posting and it says beautiful little heart. It simply says quiet time.
mm-hmm.
But this is what you write after that. You put in quiet time is necessary so you can recharge yourself. Quiet, introspective time is for you to nurture your soul. When you're recharged, you can be more available to give freely to others. Now, this is a subject that I is really dear to my heart, self-care,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what you're discussing. When it comes to self-care, how vital how vital is quiet time?
I think it's one of the most important things, because if we are constantly on and constantly doing, and someone asks something of us, we're not really very available because we're like burnt out, right?
Mhm.
We might snap at somebody who asks, oh, can you get this at the store? No, I have, you're not,
Yeah,
when you're not recharged and like solid in yourself, you're going to be out of yourself, right?
right.
If you don't recharge like your battery,
Okay.
and that is the quiet time. It doesn't have to be a nap. This is gonna have to be hashtag take a nap.
Okay, now, oh, come on now. Now, see, we already did the first segment. Now you ruined it for me because I told you I'm gonna get rid of the fly and then I'm gonna take a nap. I'm not even going for a walk today. I'm gonna get that fly
Nap.
and then I'm gonna take a nap. Okay, so it doesn't always mean necessarily taking nap time, but
No.
what are you talking about? Go ahead.
Talking about reading, reading a self-help book, reading something that interests you, that takes
Okay,
you out of your busyness, right?
okay.
Could be brain tapping, but but
I want a
it could be
picture of
a
that.
bath.
I want
It
to
could be a
picture
bath.
that on your head. I want to see that picture you relaxing. Okay, so
Yeah, it
it
could
could.
be a bath. It could be, but it's taking time. Like, I take time daily. There's always one thing. And this morning, I got up really early to take my walk. And my walks are when I meditate. And meditate means I just clear my mind and I take in the scenery. I take in, oh, the beautiful cactus and, say hello to somebody. And I refuse to think and plan, right?
Way to
And
go.
so that's my way of meditating, and it sets my day off
Okay,
great. I got a little movement, and then I might do something else later. I might go and do a sauna workout
okay.
um, later. But each day, setting an intention for your day, and that's taking some quiet time and saying, what do I want to accomplish today? And then if you don't go big, and if you surpass that, then you feel like you had a great day, right?
Right, right, right.
So it's about being realistic about yourself, and then checking in, and it really goes a long way for your system to stay calm,
Hmm.
and just able to
You're
take
less
what
like
comes at it.
so you're less likely to snap at people or talk negatively to yourself because you're getting a chance to allow your body to have its quiet time and relax. But I need to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are times that didn't come into play. Maybe when you woke up, what was on your mind is what was on your mind when you went to bed. Maybe it was the Lyme disease that you have to, the challenge. Maybe there was trying to navigate with somebody who didn't understand you. But you're talking about taking time away from those things and just letting it just be, and you stay in the present moment, as you mentioned, taking a walk, as you said, taking a bath, whatever it may be, so that the self-care can be all you focus on and get to the other things later.
Yeah, because they're still going to be
Okay,
there no matter what you do.
got it. That's true.
They're always
That's
going
true.
to be there.
Yeah.
And but if you're always thinking about it while you're at the grocery store, or like you're double tasking, you're always being somewhere else.
Okay, that's good. No, time out. You got to hashtag that. You're like always being somewhere. I'm telling you, you're gonna have T-shirts here after a while. So that's true, huh? Because even though you're with other people, you're really gonna be somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, you could be, you're buying your food, but you're thinking about something else. And to me, even like I love grocery shopping. I don't know about you,
Do
but
you
I love
really?
grocery
Okay,
shopping.
learn something new about Laura. There you go.
I know. And
You okay?
because I eat real healthy and I love organic and I love all
Okay,
that. And I mean, I go through every single aisle of the store when I go.
okay,
I
all
mean, it's
right.
an event for me, and I love to just take all that in. And it is
So you
kind
so
of
you
meditative.
essentially work there without them paying you. So you know okay,
Yeah. I
all
go,
right.
oh, this is new. No.
They go like, wait, Laura's here. They see you coming. They see you coming in the store. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, no. So I mean, that the quiet time. If you're not getting quiet time in, and just try it. Say, I'm going to do it for a week. I'm going to fit in,
Wow. Okay.
one time in the morning and one time in the afternoon, where I'm going to check out. My mind's going to go blank. I'm just going to do something like a bath, and I'm going to. This is kind of the process I do. If I'm sitting in the bath, I might vision clouds coming across my mind. And then if images start coming in and my mind starts thinking, I kind of take a virtual eraser and I erase that, and
Okay. All right.
let the clouds keep going by. And that's all I focus on.
That's
So
pretty good.
you learn your own
All
little
right.
trick, what works for you.
Okay. So I'm going to go get me some cotton balls and I'm going to suspend them from my ceiling as clouds. as clouds so that that can help me with my visual. They'll be my ceiling visual board that I need to put my head in the clouds. I like talking to you because you give some really good tips, and I think there are others who may underestimate you, but if you need a coach, you need to talk to Laura. I really mean that. I don't just mean that because Fadwa mentioned that.
Yes, I'd love to
We
talk.
we have others that have here that are a part of the show. Leave, no contact, go ghost. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to endure this, Laura. I have to do this every time I see their name. Leave underscore no underscore contact underscore go underscore ghost. I just love doing that. It has no meaning to nobody but me, but I love her support. She's always been a faithful supporter, just like Fadwa and others. But I just want to say, and NARC University is here. We have the professor from NARC University that has passed through as well. So a shout out to everybody. But I just want to say you're a person that can be a big help to a number of people. I'm saying that for those who follow the show that wanted to see this subject talked about, you have got a chance to meet Laura. They're not here in the live, but they will see this later. I know they will. They told me that they were looking forward to it. And feel free to reach out to Laura. You know who you are. And she will be a great help to you when you're comfortable and ready to do that. Laura, the 10 tips, I'm using them and sharing them with my daughters because we're going to use them, period. And I'm going to, if you get a chance to post them in the comments, that's great.
Sure.
And other things. But I am going to find a way to post them, period, and reference you so people can go back and be a part of your program and what you offer everyone.
I could create a link, I think, where they could
Perfect.
just click on it. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. See, you're more high tech than you let on. Come on now.
No, I
We
let
we
my website
we.
designer help me with that.
Okay. Well. Okay. I don't know about that. That's above my pay grade. That's my daughter's. She's my IT person.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
try to do as much in house. She knows that kind of stuff.
Yes, and I really appreciate this opportunity because marketing isn't all that. I love what I do, the one-on-one stuff.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I love getting into the transformational process with people, but the marketing part is something that I mean, who's gonna know where I am if I don't get out there? So I
That's
understand
true.
that I have to do it. It's just not
I,
necessarily.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you this, even though I would normally say it in private. And Fadwa's talking to you again on the screen. I look at my monitor over here because I'm blind and I have to have a huge screen over here off to the side. It says, "Please post where I can contact you, Laura." And leave no contact, go ghost. You're welcome. She has really great tips and many more. By the way, everybody. I love your page and the way it looks, but I'll tell you this: keep this in mind. You should. I tell this only to certain people. Hopefully, you're not getting too much feedback there. But
No, there I
but
just.
but do this. Consider this. Get on as many shows as you possibly can with this subject, because when I did a little survey of a few of my followers, they went crazy. They said yes, they're looking for more shows that talk about chronic illness. But I love the way you said it, the invisible illnesses. The ones where everybody think, oh, you look just fine. Come on, just throw on some clothes and do your hair and come on and go. And you're in their energy level. They will connect with what you said.
Yeah.
Because this show is not for everybody, but it's for those who need it. And you're definitely worth connecting with them, and they need to know you exist. So when it comes to your marketing, get on as many shows, especially health shows that you can find on podcasts, and I'll throw some your way as a suggestion. People that I know that are credible, and your word will get out if you get on those shows, because they're always looking for guests just like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I know that there's a ton of people out there because I even belong to some of the support groups, right?
yes,
But in
yes,
those support groups, you cannot market. They
no, no,
disallow you,
no,
right?
they don't, right, yeah, right.
But I know that there's a huge community out
Oh
there.
yes, oh yes, there is.
Okay.
No, yeah, I checked it out. When people told me what they wanted to see, I'll do my little research that I do, that I can do, limited as it may be. I did my research and I went like, oh my goodness, this is like huge. People need to find more people like Laura, So that's why I hope that we'll get a chance to get together again. But when we get together again, this is what I want to keep in mind. We're going to open it up for others and plan it ahead of time. So those that will see this, they know that that's what's going to happen. And it will be an open discussion in regards to this, and you'll be able to help others. And we'll see what we can put together because this is huge. It's very important.
Yeah,
Any
I
last
mean, I have.
any any last words you want to say before we have to go? I'm sorry, you were going to say
No, because there's
any?
a lot of, there's more like specifics and stuff, but then, um, perhaps I could talk on just one area,
Yes, yes,
of that,
yes,
because there is a lot to each segment or each
yes.
section.
I agree.
But,
Maybe we can put our heads together on that in a show prep and plan that out because this everybody got to get a good meet and greet to meet you, but we'll get an opportunity to get to some more specific. I have some things in mind. I'm just not going to say it for everybody right now. But you and I will put our heads together and we will make that happen. I will direct and produce that for you. We will make that happen without a doubt. Any last words though? We have gone
well, I
46
want to
minutes.
thank you,
Time flies.
the great Paxton of Open Sessions
don't
podcast.
even don't even try to go there. Remember, I just saw you sunbathing chilling while I was working in here like a slave. No, so you are the great person who gets to relax. But go
No,
ahead, go ahead. You're gonna say.
no, that is a great opportunity, and I really thank everybody. I wish that I was talented enough to type and listen and talk at the same time. So Fadwa, I will. I'm going to put a. It's you can message me or DM me at Laura Enzor Life Coach. That's how we can start the connection, and you'll be when you go on my profile, you'll see all my other, the website and all that.
Okay, Fatwa, the ball's in your court. Go make a friend. She's leaving the door open for you to at least have somebody that you can talk to. Thank you everyone for watching. More importantly, thank you for all of those that will listen to this and watch it later. And for all of you who write me and tell me that you listen to the show a lot because you like the format, it's done in a visual podcast format. I appreciate all your kind words that you've been sending me, all the support. And yes, some have asked me what else is coming down the line. Yes, there are a number of things coming down the line. So feel free to stick with us here on the podcast channel as well as our network channel, the network channel that is coming as well. And everybody, you just got love from the coach here. Laura has just typed in some hearts to you, all of you. She is on Instagram because she's here right now. So she is on Instagram because that's her page right there. She just typed it in. You will find Laura there. She's connecting with you right now by typing what she just did on the screen. You talked about making sure that we protect and be mindful of our energy levels. Mm-hmm. I'm going to circle back to that before we leave. Energy levels need to be managed. We need to reduce or cure, as you did, cure the self-induced anxiety. You also highlighted some of the show notes you mentioned was don't be a super achiever. By the way, just in case everybody's wondering, she is talking to the audience right now while I'm reading this information. And I tell you, I'm going to get that fly. he's tossing he's in front of my paper as I'm trying to read. Okay. You also mentioned about our attitude and our choices, that we need to be mindful of our attitude and our choices and be careful with that. I've got so many show notes here. And I've got so many.
We didn't even cover,
No.
all of like what you think is your reality and all of that. So
yeah. Episode number 2 then we need to get to. So we had 2 segments in this episode 1. Let's just call this one episode 1 that we did. We'll come back and do an episode 2 in regards here on Open Session _podcast. But she will bring more content and we will talk a little bit more because a lot of things that you're talking about here, Laura, can be applied even if a person doesn't have chronic illness. That's what I find intriguing about it. When you started talking, I went like, and I could use that. Let me write that down. I was like, I'm writing it down.
Yeah, it's universal, pretty much. If you want to live your best life, it's universal concepts. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll brainstorm and put some more things together so that we can put this out for everybody. And I've got some other things that I'll run by you that I'm thinking that you made me think about right now during the show. Thank
Okay.
you, everyone, again. Thank you for watching. I've turned back to this camera over here. And thank you, Laura, for being an outstandingly magnificent woman who you just give me a lot to think about. And I appreciate you so much and admire you for your strength and your wisdom. Everybody, a few are joining in. Hello to you, but we have to go for now.
We're leaving.
All right, so we're leaving. We love you, but we gotta
I'm
go.
sorry.
So bye for now, Laura. I'll talk to you soon, and
That
please
sounds great.
make sure to drop those show notes. Everybody's going to be looking for them.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank
Bye, Laura.
you. Thank you so much.